the hidden science behind attraction and influence. The mind is the battlefield of desire. Attraction is not just about physical looks or charm, it is deeply psychological. Whether you realize it or not, every romantic or social interaction is filled with subconscious cues, triggers, and responses that determine how someone feels about you. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who, at first, didn't seem that attractive, but over time, their presence, confidence, or mystery made them irresistible? On the other hand, have you ever been drawn to someone only to lose interest the moment they became too available, too predictable, or too needy? This is not random. It is psychological programming in action. Understanding this hidden science of attraction allows you to seduce, persuade, and make someone crave your presence without them even realizing why. And this is exactly what dark psychology teaches us: the art of influencing the mind on a deep, unconscious level. But before we dive into the powerful techniques that will make you impossible to ignore, one crucial rule: use these tactics ethically. You have the power to influence people, but this is not about manipulation. It's about making genuine connections stronger and enhancing attraction in a way that feels natural and authentic. Now, let's begin our journey into the psychology of seduction and control. Psychological triggers that make anyone desire you. 1. The scarcity principle. The less available you are, the more they want you. Have you ever noticed how people crave what they can't have? The rarer something is, the more valuable it becomes. This applies to money, luxury items, and, most importantly, people. Psychologists call this the scarcity effect. Our brains are wired to want things more when they seem limited or hard to obtain. Example 1. Why do luxury brands like Rolex and Louis Vuitton limit their stock? Because the harder something is to get, the more desirable it becomes. Example 2. Why do people chase after someone who plays hard to get? Because their limited time and attention make them feel more valuable. How to use scarcity in seduction. Don't always be available. If you're always texting, calling, or saying yes to every plan, they'll take you for granted. Instead, let them wonder where you are, what you're doing, and who. Focus on yourself. Have personal goals, hobbies, and passions that keep you busy. This naturally makes your time more valuable and increases your attractiveness. Make your presence count. When you are with them, be fully present, exciting, and engaging. Then pull away and leave them craving more. Psychological effect. When someone realizes they can't have unlimited access to you, their brain automatically assigns higher value to you, making them obsessed with getting your attention back. 2. The foot in the door technique. Small steps lead to big desires. Humans are wired to be consistent with their previous actions. Once someone says yes to a small request, they are more likely to say yes to a bigger request later. This is called the foot in the door technique, and it is a powerful tool in seduction. Example: if you ask someone a small, innocent question like, "Do you like music?" they'll say, "Yes." Later, if you invite them to a concert, they are much more likely to say yes, because their brain has already committed to the idea of liking music. How to use this in attraction. Start with small, harmless requests. Ask for an opinion, a small favor, or a casual hangout. Once they've agreed to one thing, Gradually increase the level of interaction, moving from small conversations to longer talks, deeper emotions, and eventually romantic attraction. Psychological effect. This creates a subconscious emotional investment, making them feel like they are choosing to grow closer to you, when in reality, you are guiding them toward deeper attraction. 3. The mystery effect. The more they have to uncover, the more they obsess over you. Why do people get addicted to TV shows, books, and games? Because mystery keeps their brain engaged. The less you reveal about yourself, the more intriguing you become. Why are people obsessed with enigmatic celebrities? Because they don't share everything. They let the world wonder. Why do cliffhangers make people desperate for the next episode? Because the brain can't stand unresolved mysteries. How to use mystery and seduction. Don't reveal everything at once. Let them discover you piece by piece. Give hints instead of direct answers. Instead of saying, "I love traveling," say, "I had a crazy experience in Tokyo once." But that's a story for another time. Have layers to your personality. Let them peel away, each layer keeping them hooked and wanting more. Psychological effect. The brain becomes fixated on figuring you out, leading to deeper emotional investment and an intense attraction. Advanced psychological techniques to keep them hooked. Now that you've learned how to spark attraction, the next step is making sure that desire deepens and never fades. Attraction is just the beginning. If you want to truly seduce someone, you need to create an emotional roller coaster that keeps them obsessing over you. This part will cover some of the most advanced dark psychology tactics, including the push-pull method, why making them chase you is key, the triangle of desire, how making others admire you increases your value, emotional anchoring, how to make them associate you with happiness and excitement, the fear of loss, why the thought of losing you makes them addicted. Let's dive in. 1. The push-pull method. Make them chase you. The biggest mistake people make in attraction is being too predictable. If you are always available, always giving attention, and always seeking them out, the excitement dies. What is push-pull? It's the psychological game of desire. You give attention push, then you withdraw pull. This creates a cycle of pleasure and tension, keeping them hooked on your presence. Example of push-pull in action. Push, you compliment them, flirt, make them feel special. Pull, you suddenly become distant, focusing on your own life, leaving them wondering why. Push, you return, showing warmth again, but just enough to make them want more. The unpredictability triggers emotional highs and lows, which deepens their emotional bond to you. How to use push-pull in attraction. Be engaging and present when you're with them. Make them feel like the center of your universe. But don't always be available. If they expect constant attention, pull away and focus on yourself. Leave them wanting more. Cut off conversations at the peak of excitement instead of letting them fizzle out. Psychological effect. This method taps into the dopamine system, making them feel like they need to win you back, which makes them invested in the chase. 2. The triangle of desire, why social proof makes you irresistible. Have you ever noticed that people want what others want? A person's desirability increases when others find them attractive. This is called social proof, and it's one of the most powerful psychological seduction tools. Example: why do people suddenly want someone after seeing them in a relationship? Because they are now validated by someone else's desire. Why do people want to eat at busy restaurants instead of empty ones? Because the crowd signals high value. How to use the triangle of desire in attraction. Be seen with other attractive, high-value people. This makes them see you as someone others admire. Subtly mention other admirers, but don't brag. For example, I got this unexpected text from someone yesterday. I don't even know how they got my number. Maintain a social life. If you're constantly around others, it signals that you are someone people want to be around. Psychological effect. This triggers competition and urgency, making them want to secure your attention before someone else does. 3. Emotional anchoring. Make them associate you with happiness. The strongest seduction technique is not just making someone want you, it's making them feel like life is better with you in it. This is where emotional anchoring comes in. What is emotional anchoring? It's the technique of making someone associate you with positive emotions. Example of emotional anchoring in action. If someone always laughs and feels good around you, their brain starts associating you with happiness. If every time they see you, they feel excitement, they will crave being around you more. How to use emotional anchoring in attraction. Create memorable, positive experiences. Always make sure that when you're with them, they feel excited, joyful, or deeply connected. Avoid being a source of stress. Don't bring negativity, complaints, or drama. Instead, be the person who makes them feel better about life. Use music, places, and scents to trigger memories. If you always play a certain song, wear a specific cologne, or meet in a special place, their brain will start linking those things to the emotions they feel around you. Psychological effect. This technique hacks their subconscious mind, making them emotionally dependent on your presence. 4. The fear of loss. Why the thought of losing you increases desire. People fear losing something more than they enjoy gaining it. This is called loss aversion. What is loss aversion? Our brains hate losing more than they love winning. In relationships, the fear of losing someone's attention triggers a strong emotional response. Example: if someone thinks they can have you whenever they want, they take you for granted. But if they think they might lose you, they suddenly value you much more. How to use the fear of loss in attraction. Never make them feel like they own you. Maintain your independence and mystery. Subtly show that you have other options. Let them feel that if they don't appreciate you, someone else will. Don't always be the one chasing. Let them feel like they need to earn your attention. Psychological effect. This method intensifies emotions and makes them realize that losing you would be a mistake, turning desire into deep emotional attachment. Attraction is just the first step. Making someone desire you is powerful, but keeping them emotionally attached is the ultimate goal. In this final part, we will explore the most advanced psychological techniques that will transform attraction into deep emotional connection. Create long-term desire and loyalty. Ensure that you remain in control of the relationship. Let's dive into the final phase of seduction psychology. 1. The emotional roller coaster, the power of unpredictability. One of the most powerful psychological tricks in seduction is emotional unpredictability. Why does this work? The brain craves excitement and novelty. If everything is too predictable, attraction fades. But if emotions go up and down, the brain gets hooked on the emotional journey. Example of the emotional roller coaster effect. If you always give someone attention, they will start taking it for granted. But if one moment you're warm and affectionate, and the next you're slightly distant, low emotion, their brain will obsess over getting that attention back. This is why people become addicted to toxic relationships, because they are emotionally unpredictable. However, you can use this tactic in a healthy way to make someone deeply attached without hurting them. How to use emotional unpredictability in attraction. Give them incredible highs, deep attention, compliments, intense connection, then slightly pull back. Make them feel a slight loss, so they crave the next high again. Change your response pattern. If they expect you to always reply immediately, occasionally delay responses to make them wonder what you're doing. Psychological effect. Their brain subconsciously associates you with emotional highs, making them crave your attention and presence. 2. The power of shared secrets. Create a deep emotional bond. Have you ever noticed that people feel closer when they share a deep, personal secret with someone? Why does this work? Psychologists call this self-disclosure theory. When two people share personal thoughts and vulnerabilities, their bond intensifies. Example: if two strangers confess a deep fear to each other, they instantly feel closer than before. If someone shares something they don't tell others, their brain sees the listener as special and trustworthy. How to use this in seduction. Encourage personal conversations. Instead of surface-level topics, ask things like, "What's something about you that most people don't know? What's the craziest thing you've ever done?" Reveal small personal details about yourself first. When you share something slightly vulnerable, it encourages them to do the same. Create a just us mentality. When someone feels like they have inside knowledge about you, they see themselves as uniquely important in your life. Psychological effect: their brain starts viewing you as someone deeply connected to their emotions, which creates long-term attachment. 3. The we frame. How to program their mind to think of you as a team. Why does this work? The moment someone starts seeing you as a we instead of just a you, they feel emotionally committed. Example of the we frame in action. Instead of saying, "I love watching movies," say, "We should totally have a movie night sometime." Instead of saying, "I like to travel," say, "We need to go on a crazy adventure together." How to use the we frame in attraction. Use we statements early on. This makes them subconsciously associate themselves with you. Talk about future plans together, even if it's something small like, "We should go to that new restaurant." Create little traditions. Something as simple as always getting ice cream together creates a sense of connection and routine. Psychological effect. Their mind automatically starts seeing you as part of their life, deepening their emotional attachment. 4. The scarcity of commitment. Why making them earn you works. Why does this work? People don't value what comes too easily. They crave what they have to work for. Example: if you immediately offer 100% commitment, the excitement fades. But if they feel like they have to win you over, they feel invested in keeping you. How to use the scarcity of commitment in attraction. Show that you have options. This subtly reminds them that they need to work to keep your attention. Let them initiate commitment. If you want something serious, let them bring up the idea of being exclusive first. Keep your standards high. Make it clear that you only commit to people who truly match your energy and values. Psychological effect. They start seeing your commitment as a reward they must earn, making them more devoted. 5. The final phase. Emotional addiction and deep bonding. Now that we've covered all the psychological triggers that create attraction and desire, the final step is locking in long-term emotional attachment. This is where you shift from playing the game to becoming their emotional home. How to make someone emotionally addicted to you. Be the source of their best emotions. Always bring excitement, laughter, and depth into their life. Create a unique connection. Have inside jokes, shared experiences, and personal conversations that make your bond irreplaceable. Give them a sense of growth. People fall in love with those who make them feel like a better version of themselves. If they associate you with personal growth, adventure, and self-improvement, they will never want to lose you. Psychological effect. You become the person they can't imagine life without, ensuring that attraction turns into lasting emotional commitment. Final thoughts. Mastering the psychology of seduction. Attraction is not about luck. It's about understanding the human mind and using it to create desire, emotional connection, and deep attachment. The full blueprint of seduction psychology. Part 1. Understanding attraction psychology. Part 2. Psychological triggers to create desire. Part 3. Advanced techniques to keep them hooked. Part 4. Turning desire into deep emotional attachment. Now it's your turn. Which technique do you think is the most powerful? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. If you want to master the psychology of attraction and influence, hit that subscribe button for more.